Greetings of the hour, guys. Hope all are fine. Today, let's see the last experiment in your lab in part B, that is estimation of percentage of iron in hematite ore solution. So, you will be given with a hematite ore solution. You will be given with a hematite ore solution. You have to find out the percentage of iron present in a given solution. So, before starting the experiment, uh, let's go through the definition of ore. Ore is a mineral from which metals can be extracted economically. Today you'll be given with a ore, that is hematite ore. Hematite ore will be given in the reagent bottle, and let's see the what you take in the conical flask and what you take in the burette before starting the experiment. So in the conical flask you have to take 25 ml of ore solution. You have to pipette out 25 ml of ore solution from the reagent bottle to the conical flask, and you have to take potassium dichromate in the burette. Potassium dichromate is an oxidizing agent. In the conical flask, you have hematite ore. It is chemically iron oxide, Fe2O3. So let's calculate the oxidation state. Oxidation state is Fe3 plus. Oxidation state is Fe3 plus. In the burette, you have oxidizing agent. The highest oxidation state of iron is Fe3 plus. Can it be further oxidized? No. Fe3 plus can't be further oxidized. So if you want to add potassium dichromate from the burette to the conical flask, you have to convert this Fe3 plus into Fe2 plus. To convert Fe3 plus into Fe2 plus, you have to add a reducing agent. In this experiment, you are adding a reducing agent called as stannous chloride. Stannous chloride is a good reducing agent under hot condition. So I'll take ore solution and I'll keep it on the flame until the solution boils. Remember, the oxidation state of iron is Fe3 plus. Next, under hot condition, add stannous chloride in drops. When you add stannous chloride, it is a reducing agent. It converts Fe3 plus into Fe2 plus. Add stannous chloride until this solution become colorless. Remember, initially it was yellow color. Oxidation state of iron is Fe3 plus. Now it is colorless. The oxidation state is Fe2 plus. At the end, again add 2-drop excess to ensure complete reduction. 2-drop excess of stannous chloride to ensure complete reduction. But you have added 2-drop excess of stannous chloride. This 2-drop excess of stannous chloride has to be removed. Let us see why it has to be removed. In the experiment, you are adding potassium dichromate from the burette. So potassium dichromate converts this Fe2 plus into Fe3 plus. Fe2 plus into Fe3 plus. If stannous chloride is not removed, this stannous chloride again converts Fe3 plus black to Fe2 plus. So we have to remove 2-drop excess of stannous chloride. Let us see how we can remove 2-drop excess of stannous chloride. You have to cool it under the running tap water. Then add mercuric chloride. When you add mercuric chloride, stannous chloride will be converted into stannic chloride. When you add mercuric chloride, stannous chloride will be converted to stannic chloride and itself reduces to mercurous chloride. So mercurous chloride, it is a silky white precipitate. You can see in the conical flask, it is a silky white precipitate. Initially it was a yellow colored solution. Oxidation state of iron is Fe3 plus. Now you add stannous chloride, the color will become colorless. To remove stannous chloride, you add mercuric chloride. Now it is mercurous chloride. You get a silky white precipitate. Oxidation state of ion is Fe2 plus. Next, add 1 test tube of water. Still the oxidation state of ion is Fe2 plus. In the previous experiment, you are adding indicator directly into the conical flask. But this experiment is a method used to determine the ion by using an external indicator. So you are not supposed to add indicator directly into the conical flask. You should add indicator to the wax paper. Wax paper will be given to you. On the wax paper, you have to add potassium ferricyanide. You can see the drops of potassium ferricyanide is placed on the wax paper. And this name of the indicator is potassium ferricyanide. And you can see oxidation state of ion is Fe3 plus. Remember, oxidation state of ion in the conical flask is Fe2 plus. Oxidation state of ion in the indicator is Fe3 plus. Okay, let's go for the titration. In the lab manual, it is given that you have to add 1 ml of potassium dichromate from the burette into the conical flask. You have to add 1 ml of potassium dichromate from the burette into the conical flask. But we prepare the solution. Even for the exam, you can add 5 ml at a stretch. For example, you can see the initial reading in the burette is 20 now. Initial reading in the burette is 20. So if you want to add 5 ml at a stretch, you have to add till 25 ml. So you are adding oxidizing agent. Add 5 ml of potassium dichromate into the conical flask. When you add potassium dichromate into the conical flask, Fe2 plus will be converted to Fe3 plus. So concentration of Fe2 plus decreases and the concentration of Fe3 plus increases. When you add potassium dichromate, what happens? Concentration of Fe2 plus decreases and the concentration of Fe3 plus increases. Then what we have to do is, after adding 5 ml, by using a glass rod, take a drop of sample from the conical flask and bring in contact with the indicator. When you bring in contact with indicator, you can see yellow colored indicator has been converted to blue color when it comes in contact with the sample. So this indicator will react with Fe2 plus ion. Indicator doesn't react with Fe3 plus ions. So it says that there is still Fe2 plus ions remaining. You have added 5 ml. When you add 5 ml, Fe2 plus will be converted to Fe3 plus. But when you take a sample by using a glass rod, bring in contact with the indicator, indicator has produced color. That says that there is still Fe2 plus ions remaining in the conical flask. So the name of the indicator is potassium ferricyanide. So indicator react with Fe2 plus ions. Indicator doesn't react with Fe3 plus ions. So the name of the complex is potassium is replaced by ferro, Fe2 plus ion. The name of this blue colored complex is ferroferricyanide. Ferroferricyanide. Ferrous ion will react with ferric ions. Next, don't add 5 ml at a stretch. Now add 1 ml at a stretch. Now the burette reading is 25 ml. You can see here. Add 1 ml at a stretch. That is 26 ml. So when you add 1 ml, again Fe2 plus concentration decreases, Fe3 plus concentration increases. Take a drop of sample by using glass rod. bring in contact with, you can look at this image, bring in contact with the indicator. Again, indicator has produced color. It says that there is still Fe2 plus ions remaining in the conical flask. Now the burette reading is 26. Again add 1 ml. Now it is 26. Add 1 ml, that is 27 ml till 27. Fe2 plus concentration decreases, Fe3 plus concentration increases because you are adding a oxidizing agent. It converts Fe2 plus into Fe3 plus. Again, take a drop of sample from the conical flask, bring in contact with the indicator. Again, the indicator has produced color. It says there is still Fe2 plus ions remaining in the conical flask. Now the burette reading is 27. Add 1 ml that till 28. So concentration of Fe2 plus decreases, Fe3 plus increases. Take a drop of sample using glass rod, bring in contact with the indicator. Indicator has produced color, but the intensity of the color has decreased. You can see the intensity of the color has decreased. That says that there is small quantity of iron, Fe2 plus ions remaining. Now the burette reading is 28 ml. Add 1 ml. Fe2 plus will be converted to Fe3 plus. Take a drop of sample from using glass rod, bring in contact with the indicator. Here you can see indicator has not produced color. This says that this potassium dichromate, what you are adding, has converted all Fe2 plus into Fe3 plus. There is no Fe2 plus ions remaining in the conical flask. All the Fe2 plus has been converted to Fe3 plus. Let's go through here. This one is you added 5 ml at a stretch. This one is 6 ml. This one is 7. You add 1 ml. So 7. Next is 8. Here it is 9. So for 8 ml you have got a color. For 9 ml you have not got a color. So it says that the end point or the range of the titration lies between 8 and 9. So you have to write, I'll repeat once again. Here you have added 5 ml at a stretch. Next 1 ml, 6, 7, 8 you have got a color, 9 you have not got a color. It says that end point lies between 8 and 9. Look here, again 8 you have got a color, 9 you have not got a color. So end point lies between 8 and 9. So this is not the fine trial, this is determination of range. So the range of the titration is 8 and 9. Now you have to go for fine trial. The first part is determination of range. You have to be very careful. You have to show to the teacher whether the range is correct or wrong after the titration. So you have added 29 ml here. You have added 9 ml. It's not 29. You have added 9 ml. For 8 you have got a color. 9 you have not got a color. So the end point lies between 8 and 9. So let's go for the fine trial. Initially we were not knowing the end point. So what we used to do is you have added 5 ml once, next 1 ml, next 1 ml, 1 ml. Now we know the end point. So end point lies between 8 and 9. So the fine initial reading is 20. So we can add 8 ml at a stretch because we know the end point lies between 8 and 9. So add 8 ml at a stretch. 20 is the initial reading, 28 is uh, the lower limit, that is 8 ml at a stretch. After adding 8 ml, take a drop of the sample using glass rod, bring in contact with the indicator. That is, you have added 8 ml, bring in contact with the indicator. Indicator has produced color. This says that there is still Fe2 plus ions remaining in the conical flask. Now, second addition, don't add 1 ml. Now you have to add 0.1 ml. You have added 8 ml at a stretch. Now add 0.1 ml, that is 28.1. 0.1 ml. Next, again bring the sample using glass rod. Bring the sample in contact with the indicator. Indicator has again produced color. It says that there is still Fe2 plus ions remaining. You have added 8.1, that is now the burette reading is 28.1. Again add 0.1 ml, that is 28.2. Bring the sample in contact with the indicator. Indicator has produced color. It says that still there is Fe2 plus ions remaining. Now it is, you have added 28.8.2. Next, go for the next addition, that is 28.3. 0.1 ml addition. Again the indicator has produced color, but the intensity of the color is decreasing. Still it says that there is Fe2 plus ions remaining in the conical flask. Next addition is again 0.1 ml. Add 0.1 ml. Bring in contact with the sample. Indicator has produced color. It says that still there is small amount of Fe2 plus ions. Again add 0.1 ml from the burette into the conical flask. Bring the sample in contact with the indicator. You can see here indicator has not produced any color. It says that the end point is, here it is 8 ml addition, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4. This one is 8.5. For 8.4 ml you have got color. For 8.5 ml you have not got color, so that the end point is 8.5. So initial reading was 20, final reading is 28.5. So the volume of potassium dichromate is consumed is 8.5 ml. So remember, first one, you have to determine the range by adding 5 ml at a stretch initially, then 1 ml at a stretch. You have to add until the indicator fails to produce. You have to add until the indicator fails to produce any color. You can see here, you have to add until indicator fails to produce any color. Next, fine trial. Add, so if the range of the titration is between 8 and 9, you have to add 8 ml at a stretch. If the range is 9 and 10, you have to add 9 ml at a stretch. If the range is between 7 and 8, you can add 7 ml at a stretch. But after that, you have to add 0.1 ml. So you have to repeat it thrice. First one is range determination. Second, next 3 trials is fine trials. So hope you have understood. Next you have to go for the calculation. You can go through the calculation part. You can substitute it. Don't take the mean value, so take any value and you can proceed the calculation. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time.